Chapter 140. There has to be an end in a life. Between the three of them, only Hua Yuao and Wang Dong had 1,000-year soul rings. It was a huge increase in power when a 2-ring soul grandmaster became a 3-ring soul elder. Besides the obvious increase in soul power, their soul skills would improve qualitatively. The might of 1,000-year soul skills were far superior to their 100-year counterparts, and their versatility was likewise greater. This would especially be the case for Xia Xiao, since her soul ring was far more powerful than their initial projections. Hua Yuao said, I think that it will take quite some time for her to fuse with the soul bone. Let's cultivate while we wait. Wang Dong and Hua Yuao had both experienced the soul bone fusing process. They knew it was very tedious to absorb a soul bone, especially Hua Yuao, who still shivered when he recalled his unbearable experiences fusing soul bones. Okay, replied Wang Dong. They sat down on the spot, palms clasped together, and a gentle white and gold halo emerged and intersected from them as they started to circulate their Haodong power. Since Elder Sun was here, they didn't need to worry about anything and immediately started cultivating. Wang Dong's golden light left arm bone once more displayed its full capabilities, causing the aura of light around Hua Yuao and Wang Dong became more intense as rings of golden light silently engulfed them. The circulation speed of their soul power and their absorption rate of the energy of heavens and earth both increased. Elder Sun sat below a tree off to the side and watched over them with a benevolent gaze. He thought to himself, no wonder Elder Mu always watches over the freshman dormitory. Youth is nice. Hua Yuao and Wang Dong had entered a meditative trance. The positive effect of Haodong power towards their cultivation only ever increased as their cultivation rose further. Their influence on one another greatly enhanced their soul powers. Hua Yuao had reached a bottleneck in soul power, thus he could only start accumulating his soul power now, whereas Wang Dong felt that his own soul power was increasing. Their current cultivation speed was similar to when they individually underwent deep meditation. Wang Dong believed that reaching rank 40 would be possible in half a year's time with a speed like this. Don't forget that he was the youngest of the Shrek 7 monsters. Hua Yuao and Wang Dong's situation was going well on one side, but Xia Xiao had met with troubles on her end. The fluid converted from the dark gold and terraclaw bear's right palm bone was flowing into her palm. At first she felt comfortable, as if a warm liquid had coated her hand, but the warmth soon became scorching. Even though her soul power was being rapidly stimulated, she couldn't interfere with the fusing process in her arm. That scorching feeling was still increasing, and became blazing hot. Xia Xiao's entire right hand had visibly turned dark golden colored. It seemed as if something were crawling out of her palm, and the searing heat caused her to sweat profusely. The experience was torturing her, as she felt like her palm was being grilled. At that moment, only Xia Xiao's right palm felt like this, but slowly the same sensation spread up her entire right arm. She laughed bitterly in her heart. Was this her retribution for eating grilled bear meat earlier? It was her turn to be grilled this time, and it was even from the inside out. The intense, burning pain caused Xia Xiao to shiver slightly. Her slight shivering soon became convulsions, and the dark golden radiance on her right hand became brighter. Elder Sun opened his eyes wide and rushed to Xia Xiao's side. He observed her carefully. Xia Xiao was trembling more and more. Elder Sun could feel a struggling life force releasing waves of hysteria from her right hand. It wasn't struggling to resist being assimilated, but was struggling to break free. It was like some kind of embryonic creature trying to escape from its shell. Xia Xiao looked like she couldn't bear it anymore. Not good. Elder Sun exclaimed in his heart. He'd been careless. Indeed, the dark gold and terraclaw bear's right palm bone was powerful, but this had blinded him to an important difference between soul bones and soul rings. While the strength of soul rings was determined by age, the soul bone was reliant on quality. While they both came from the dark gold and terraclaw bear, and Xia Xiao had no problems fusing with the soul ring, it was a different story for the soul bone. The dark gold and terraclaw bear was too overbearing, and its soul bone manifesting as a right palm bone meant it was the of the highest quality. The dominating power of a dark gold and terraclaw bear came from its fierce lineage, and Xia Xiao was currently suffering precisely from the strength of this overbearing lineage. After all, she was only a young soul elder. Elder Sun had thought that, once Xia Xiao's cultivation had increased greatly by obtaining her third ring, it and the fierce aura of her dark gold and terraclaw bear soul ring, combined with the enhancements to her body from her previous 2 soul bones, will allow Xia Xiao to absorb this 2,000-year soul bone without any complications. But reality was cruel. The difficulty of absorbing this soul bone was far beyond his calculations. Xia Xiao, hold on. Elder Sun shouted softly. No one could help her at this point. Success or failure was in her own hands. Should an outside power intervene, it would simply be sucked in. At that point, unless Elder Sun could be by her side at all times supplying a steady stream of soul power, the soul bone could explode at any time. Teacher, my hand is about to melt. I can't hold on anymore. Xia Xiao screamed in pain and couldn't maintain her sitting posture anymore, then twisted her body and fell on the ground, her right hand stabbing into the mud, although this did nothing to alleviate her pain. The golden radiance had extended from her right hand to her whole arm at this point, which caused Xia Xiao's entire body to start spasming tremendously. This isn't good. The soul bone is creating a backlash. Elder Sun didn't care about the ramifications anymore, and rushed to Xia Xiao's side before slapping his palm on her right shoulder. This sealed the dark golden radiance in Xia Xiao's right arm. However, Xia Xiao's right arm started to balloon in size, and the power within was about to break free from its restraint. A soul bone backlash was the most dire outcome of soul bone absorptions. It could even become a fatal situation should things go wrong. It usually happened because the soul master can't handle the immense power within the soul bone, which then counterattacks the soul master in retaliation. Xia Xiao's painful screams also jolted Hua Yuao and Wang Dong awake. Both of them were shocked when they saw Xia Xiao's condition. Elder Sun, what's wrong with Xia Xiao? Elder Sun furrowed his brows and said in a somber tone, the dark golden terraclaw bear's right palm bone contains too much domineering strength. Xia Xiao can't bear the current pressure it's exerting. She's experiencing soul bone backlash. What can we do? Hua Yuao asked anxiously. He could see that Xia Xiao's arm had swollen up like a balloon, and that her shirt was just moments away from ripping. Elder Sun bitterly replied, if this continues, I'm afraid that her arm will. What? Wang Dong exclaimed. Elder Sun, is there nothing we can do? The soul bone can't even be suppressed with your soul power. Elder Sun shook his head and said, no, if I try to forcefully suppress it, her arm will burst. She'll only lose her arm faster if I do that. If I didn't already have a right arm soul bone, I could try to guide the soul bone out, but since I do I can't. Xia Xiao looked extremely pale, and the pain from her right arm made her body spasm violently. Without Elder Sun's seal, the power of the dark golden terraclaw bear's soul bone would have spread its backlash to her entire body, which would leave her life in danger. Elder Sun, let me do it. Hua Yuao said decisively. Even though he immediately made this decision, you could tell how resolved he was from his tone. Aside from Xia Xiao, he was the only one left in the group without a right arm soul bone, meaning he was the only outlet this frightening power could be siphoned to. Not only that, but he couldn't watch as Xia Xiao was in danger of losing her right arm. You. Elder Sun was slightly shocked and said, Yuao, your cultivation isn't even at rank 30 yet. If Xia Xiao can't bear it, I don't think you can. Moreover, the soul bone's power had been fully unleashed now, and it was far more brutal than before. Hua Yuao laughed bitterly and replied, Elder Sun, believe in me. I hold at least 70% confidence in myself to do it. Elder Mu must have told you what has happened to me so far, and my body is extremely strong. While Xia Xiao did get a chance to practice our Tang Sect's mysterious jade hands, she did so long after me. Her mastery of the mysterious jade hands is inferior to my own. Furthermore, my second martial soul's ice empress pincer increases my palm strength even further. I should be able to bear it better than her. Elder Sun took in a deep breath, and his eyes sparkled as he looked at Hua Yuao. Kid, I won't waste any more time. If you get hurt because of this, I will help you recover, even if it costs me my life. Wang Dong didn't try to talk Hua Yuao out of it, but he tugged at his shirt from behind. They were friends, even close to seeming like relatives. Hua Yuao was undoubtedly the closest person to Wang Dong at Shrek Academy. He wasn't willing to see Hua Yuao take this risk. Hua Yuao didn't seem to understand Wang Dong's intention. As he stepped forward, he shook his left hand behind his back slightly and removed Wang Dong's grip on his shirt, while his right hand also grabbed onto Xia Xiao's right hand firmly. Hua Yuao's body jerked as their hands contacted. He didn't feel a scorching heat at first, but instead a wave of hysterical will that instantly surged from Xia Xiao's right palm into his body. However, he wasn't afraid to compete against the 1,000-year dark gold and terraclaw bear in terms of spiritual power and will, even if it was still alive. Elder Sun said in a deep voice, I'm about to start. Okay. Huo Yuao's reply was very short. He adjusted his breathing and readied himself. He was a little stunned that, while the Sky Dream Iceworm and Ice Empress were awake, they didn't try to stop him. They didn't even warn him, as if they were completely ignorant of current events. An intense undulation of soul power circulated around his entire body rapidly, as the mysterious heaven technique was focused on his right arm. Elder Sun unleashed his pure power to suppress the Dark Golden Terraclaw's tyrannical strength. Without Huo Yuao being there, this power would be used to support Xia Xiao's arm and delay it reaching the limit of what it could bear. But instead it forced the Dark Golden Terraclaw bear's strength into Huo Yuao's right arm. Once it entered Huo Yuao's right arm, he immediately understood the pain that Xia Xiao was experiencing. The burning power surged maniacally, like a raging inferno had transformed into countless tiny blades furiously cutting at his palm. This tyrannical strength caused Huo Yuao to tremble, but he quickly stabilized himself. He couldn't bother to think of the consequences earlier. He found it clear that even if he and Xia Xiao couldn't take it, Elder Sun was still around. At most his right palm would be crippled, but Xia Xiao would have her entire right arm crippled. He balanced the repercussions for the both of them. As her team leader and friend, he didn't hesitate to help Xia Xiao resolve this problem, when he was the only one that could. He was also confident in himself. He was convinced that the power of the Dark Golden Terraclaw bear soul bone couldn't be compared to the Ice Jade Empress Scorpion soul bone, even after it was sealed. After experiencing such frightful pain once, what was a measly Dark Golden Terraclaw soul bone to him? Besides, even if he really couldn't take it, the Ice Empress would help him. This was why he was so confident. It turned out that Huo Yuao's previous conjectures were absolutely right. His mysterious jade hands proved far more effective than Xia Xiao's. When the strength of the Dark Golden Terraclaw bear came into his right palm, his right arm emitted a faint glow, resembling a gem. This glow suppressed the Dark Golden Terraclaw bear's power in his palm and kept it from spreading further. Huo Yuao also switched his martial soul to the Ice Jade Empress Scorpion. His soul bones also emitted a turquoise radiance. The radiance was so intense that it penetrated outwards from inside his body and became visible on the outside from beneath his skin. The aura assaulting him came from a Dark Golden Terraclaw bear, which, while they are very powerful, they aren't up to the standards of the Ice Jade Scorpions, let alone the Ice Jade Empress Scorpion that Huo Yuao possessed. Its aura would not lose out to a simple Dark Golden Terraclaw bear's. Huo Yuao also activated his first soul skill, the Ice Empress Pincer, without any delay. Xia Xiao was completely unprepared for the aura's assault, and she didn't have any soul skills to strengthen her palms. Huo Yuao, on the other hand, had such a skill at his disposal. Upon activating the Ice Empress Pincer, Huo Yuao could feel an immediate effect on the pressure facing him. So even though his palm was still feeling the full force of the pain, it was solely in his palm and didn't spread past his wrists. As the Dark Golden Radiance shone, a diamond radiance that belonged to his Ice Empress Pincer appeared. The diamond radiance was colorless and transparent. Under the Dark Golden Terraclaw's radiance, Huo Yuao's entire palm shone with intense light. Elder Sun was very sharp, and his eyes brightened. He thought to himself that there was hope. Thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Also leave a comment down below with suggestions on what novels to read.